Rick and Michonne's love story in The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live Perfectly flips another Walking Dead spin-off's premise. After being absent for many years, both Rick and Michonne finally return to the franchise to deliver an intense and compelling love story. The show has exceeded expectations so far, with Rick and Michonne's quick reunion coming as a shock, providing them with plenty of time to explore and develop their relationship. Despite how deeply they care for one another, the protagonists' relationship faced tension when Rick tried to make Michonne leave the Civic Republic without him. This decision highlighted that they weren't completely on the same page, which is only amplified in episode 4. When the opportunity to escape finally arises, Rick and Michonne disagree on their next move, with Michonne wanting to try and head back to Alexandria as opposed to Rick, who thinks it's best to return to the CRM. Their disagreement drives the episode forward, with the two clearly still loving each other but having completely different mindsets. While they ultimately make peace at the end of the episode, their dynamic throughout is the perfect flip of another Walking Dead spin-off. Rick and Michonne's The Ones Who Live dynamic perfectly reverses Maggie and Negan's. The relationship dynamic between Rick and Michonne in The Ones Who Live perfectly reverses Maggie and Negan's in Dead City. Unlike Rick and Michonne, Maggie and Negan's Walking Dead relationship is far from romantic, as Negan killed Maggie's husband. This caused Maggie to deeply resent him, which has been the basis of their relationship ever since Season 7. Despite Negan's redemption arc in The Walking Dead, Maggie has never fully forgiven him, yet they are forced to work together in their spin-off to try and rescue her son. Dead City's premise uses this reluctant reliance to create an unorthodox partnership. While The Walking Dead has already explored this side of Maggie and Negan, Dead City shines the spotlight on them even more, proving that despite their hatred, they can work together for the greater good. The Ones Who Live cleverly flips this, showing Rick and Michonne at odds with one another despite their loving relationship. Maggie and Negan have a fairly hostile relationship but manage to work together, whereas Rick and Michonne have one of the strongest relationships in the franchise yet are essentially working against each other. Episode 4 perfectly displays their differences in The Ones Who Live. Although they both want the same thing deep down, Rick's cold attitude towards Michonne drives a wedge between them. Rather than uniting to try and flee the CRM and return home, they are actively trying to achieve different things. Michonne refuses to give Rick the device to call a CRM helicopter to their location, wanting Rick to leave with her instead, but Rick refuses to go due to his own insecurities. They even make fighting zombies a competition and argue about survival tactics, highlighting how their dynamic in the spin-off is the opposite of Maggie and Negan's in Dead City. Why Rick and Michonne have such different mindsets in The Ones Who Live episode 4. Rick and Michonne from The Walking Dead The Ones Who Live trailer against a red background. Rick and Michonne's different mindsets come from their individual experiences with the CRM. Having spent years with the group, Rick cut off his own hand to try and escape yet still didn't find his freedom, and Jodi's even threatened that the CRM would attack Alexandria if he ever left. On the other hand, while Michonne has seen what the CRM is capable of, she still shares the optimism that Rick had about escaping when he first arrived at the Civic Republic. Rick's 9 years with the group have broken him mentally, unlike Michonne who still believes they can make it home.